little, it was actually a trolleybus shelter built in about 1928, 1930. I'm not entirely sure, but it wasn't ever a tram stop. The trams never came up and down here, but the trolleybuses did. They were a long story, but anyway, I brought you here to tell you the story of Thomas Bown, B-O-W-N. Now, Thomas was a resident of Chesterfield. He lived at number 50 St Augustine's Avenue, and during the Second World War, he was the caretaker and fire watcher at the Ayres furniture store across the street. Now, that was until the 30th of March, 1941. That day was a Sunday, and Thomas could be found in the Phoenix on St Mary's Gate, which is now Spa Lane Vaults, where we'll be going later. He was in there bragging to everyone that would listen about his recent good fortune. His mother-in-law had died. The fact was that she left him quite a lot of money, and he had a bulging purse as a result. And he was buying everyone a drink. His friend Dick Dunks told great name. His friend Dick Dunks told him to not to be so conspicuous with his cash, but Thomas wouldn't listen. By 2:30, Thomas was back at his accommodation in the cellar of the furniture store at 2:30, as I say, when Harry Eyre, the business owner, arrived to do a bit of plane spotting. Now, this is quite an unusual and, if you ask me, quite a brave endeavour. He would go up on the roof. This was the middle of the Blitz, of course, and watch the planes from the roof. Now, this was only 2 weeks after a German bomb had landed on Tupton and killed 11 people. So he was quite the character. About 4 o'clock, he came down from the roof and went to say goodbye to Thomas, only to find the body of the caretaker spread eagle on his bed, covered in blood and with a deep, gaping neck wound. At first, it was thought that Thomas might have committed suicide. There didn't seem to be anybody else there. But the autopsy revealed that something rather large and heavy had been used to open the man's neck. Also, the police discovered a few items that were missing from the crime scene. Firstly, Thomas's keys to the store and its safe were gone. Secondly, the bulging purse which he'd used to buy all the drinks was missing. And finally, and most crucially, a fire axe had been taken.
Oh dear.
It didn't take the police very long to narrow their search down to one man. The suspect was Ernest Prince. Ernest, under questioning, had confessed that he'd been in the Phoenix that afternoon. And he also said that he'd been to the furniture store around 3 p.m. and Mr. Bown had invited him in. Now, he says that Mr. Bown made some sort of sexual advance towards him and that he became angered to the point where he could not remember what had happened. But this was probably a lie. Mr. Bown was a married man with 2 children. It was a common tactic by criminals wanting to indenture some sympathy from the judge and jury. However, it seems on this occasion to have worked. It also doesn't explain why he took the keys and the money. So, as I say, it seems to have worked to a certain degree. He got away with manslaughter and a sentence of 15 years, which seems extremely lenient for a man who killed a complete stranger for money with an axe. Is it not?
Yeah.
Right, we're going to go around the corner to the